It's day 50 of the time now, 6:01.
And the big news is Laura has finally walked.
So you said the big news. Oh, that is the big news.
Yes.
Right, that's right. Our weekend break housemate finally checked out after a staggering 4 days, 10 hours and 2 minutes. I mean, is that not incredible? And we'll find out why later on the show.
I can't tell you, I'm thoroughly disappointed. We've also got behavioural expert Dr. Pam Spur. She's going to be here to tell us why our housemates are all cracking under the pressure.
Plus, the man who spends his summer straddling hogs with Ewan McGregor. It's Charlie Bournemouth, everybody.
But back to last night, and a love story set to rival the greats. Charles and Di, Den and Angie, Amy and Blake. They have got nothing on John James and Josie. Here's a recap.
My first nomination is going to be Ben.
Ben, he's selfish.
Steve.
I can feel intimidated around him.
John James is constantly on edge.
Dave will not be permitted to nominate and will become a nominated housemate.
I just want to go home now. I feel nervous all the time. It's just too much. I just can't deal with it.
I don't want to stay with him.
Wait, just can you look at me for 2 seconds?
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry, alright. Oh, I love her and that. I just don't want to hurt anyone.
Come back here, you nose!
Come on, we're mates. You wouldn't ever leave me here, would you?
Last Friday, our next guest was hand-picked by the housemates to enter the Big Brother house. But in the time it takes to boil a very large egg, she was gone. Please welcome, a blink and you'll miss her. It's Laura, everybody. Thank you, my love. Laura.
Yeah.
What happened? Did you leave the iron on?
I don't know. I just felt like I just wasn't being myself at all. And
you were just watching those clips back there. You were saying, oh, how embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It is embarrassing because I can't believe I acted like that. I wouldn't have gone out for it and thought I'd be so unhappy if I got in. And I got in and then I just was so unhappy and I just felt like I had to leave.
You poor thing, you had to bail out.
Yeah.
You didn't even say goodbye this morning.
I couldn't say goodbye because...
It's too tough, Laura. You bonded so much.
No, I felt like I had. Like, I got along with them all really, really well. Yeah. Apart from Josie and John, who I didn't really get to speak to.
They were doing their own thing, Laura.
Yeah, they were mostly in the bed. I don't know what they were doing in there, but... yeah, like...
Was there a little bit of you that wanted to get into that bed, Laura? Is that why you left?
No,
Because you couldn't get into JJ's heart?
No, that wasn't. Actually, it feels quite awkward when you, like, go in there. You just feel like they want to be left alone. You don't want them to think you're trying to listen in on their, like, deep conversations.
How do you think they reacted to you leaving?
From when I said I was going to leave, like, on whatever occasion it was, like, 4th or 5th occasion when I first went in, they all seemed like they really wanted me to stay. They were all crowding around me saying, don't leave, don't leave. And that's one of the reasons that I didn't say goodbye, is because I found that really hard, because I did get along with them really well. The second reason was that they would probably have persuaded me to stay, and I don't know,
Should we have a little look at how they reacted, Laura? Let's have a look.
This is Big Brother. Housemates. Laura has chosen to leave the Big Brother house and will not be returning.
You are joking!
Why's she done that?
I didn't even get to know her. I didn't.
Oh, that's awful. I really liked her.
And Laura was a lovely, lovely girl, don't get me wrong, but somebody else could have had that chance.
Oh, hey? Somebody else could have had that chance. You wasted it, Laura.
But somebody else could have had that chance, and like I was grateful and happy to be there and did as much as everyone else did to get in there. But you don't know how you're going to react until you're in there.
Imagine how Joel and Megan and the other guys are feeling right now, huh? Imagine that.
Well, maybe, you know, hopefully they...
You've got to feel some element of guilt, Laura.
I feel, you know, I do feel bad that I didn't stay there long enough, but, you know, I worked as hard as they did to get to where they were, and just because I didn't plan on getting in just to be unhappy, I planned in to have a wicked time, to be myself, and I wasn't myself, and that's why...
What about the vibe with Ben? There seemed to be a real vibe between you and Ben, so much so it caused problems between he and Rachel.
I liked Ben. I got along with Ben really well. I thought he was really nice.
If you'd have stayed in there a bit longer, do you think you might have got fruity between the two of you?
I don't think so. No? I don't think he fancied me.
Right, now, listen, well, I think he did. I want you to dish the dirt now on some of your housemates. I want to know, and you owe it to us, all right, Laura, so it's not an optional thing. I want to know from you, who's the most desperate to win?
Mario seems to me like he kind of wants to win it quite badly. Yeah.
Right, OK. Who's nastier than they come across on the show?
Maybe he's just that entertaining, but... sorry, what?
Who's nastier than they come across on the show?
I don't think anyone's nasty in there.
Really?
No.
Right, OK. And I was going to ask you what's going on with John James and Joseph. We don't have time because I just want to have a quick look at the Walk of Shame, guys. There's a lot of people here who bailed out early doors. Remember Tom from BB10, I think he was. He managed 9 days. And then Sunita, 7 days. But you, my darling, you're right up the top there with 4 days almost. only beaten by Isaac. And he was there 3 days. And he wasn't really even meant to be on the show anyway. So I think you've done spectacularly well to be up there. Give her a big round of applause, Laura. Thanks for the memories. Very brief memories, but thank you for them. Now let's get back to the housemates who could be leaving the house through the front door for once. There's 4 boys facing the public vote this week, and here are the numbers you need. To evict Andrew, call 090 11 323 015. To evict Ben, call 090 11 323 001. To evict Dave, call 090 11 323 004. To evict John James, call 090 11 323 007. Calls cost 50p from a BT landline. Other networks may be higher and mobiles will cost considerably more. 15p from each call will be donated to charity. Details and terms at channel4.com/Big Brother. Voting closes in Friday's show.
So it seems the house has gone into meltdown with emotions riding higher than Ben's quiff. And here to make sense of it all is behavioural expert Dr. Pam Spur. What a week it's been! There's been so much going on, but obviously today Laura became the 3rd person to walk out of the house this series. So why does everybody want to go? What's happened to them all?
Well, they go into the house with this huge psychological barrier, which says it's unthinkable to walk when you've been given the privilege of being a housemate.
But they shouldn't walk because they have been given the privilege of being a housemate.
Exactly. And when Shabby made that decision to go through and break that barrier, then it makes it so much easier for the domino effect to happen. And face it, Emma, we do not have a powerful alpha male or alpha female in there for when they're in a crisis,
but what about
for them to
Steve
turn
and Corin? Because they seem quite, like they could be.
Well, Corin has her heart in the right place, bless her, and she did try and help Laura, but it wasn't enough. It's not someone that maybe Laura looked up to enough to actually believe.
So why did she only last 4 days, do you think?
She has what I'd call a low sort of emotional filter, and that means she absorbed all the unsettled sort of feelings in the house that are going on right now.
Right, OK. So why are emotions running so high at the moment, do you think?
Well, one way of looking at this is something called emotional lability.
Right.
And this is where, if you have one end of a scale where it's low, you get the kind of lounge lizard, cool, chilled out personality like George Lamb. And then you get...
Really?
Then on the high end, you get those people with volcanic emotions. They can't control their emotions.
Right, OK. So this is our emotional lability meter. And we've got Ben at the bottom of it. So why is he down there?
Well, Ben's always chatting about his emotions, so you might think he'd be high, but that's not true.
So it's the other way around.
He understands them when he talks about them, so he's very low on the scale.
Right, OK. Do you think because he talks about his emotions so much, that has helped deteriorate his relationship with Mario?
Well, Mario can't stand the fact that he has these little flings with new people, like first Rachel, then it was, of course, Laura, and
he's so promiscuous in the house.
Oh, he is. He's a little hussy. And so I think it rubs salt in the wounds for Mario, who hasn't really accepted that he was rejected early on. So he sees Ben being quite chilled out.